Hey guys, good morning everyone. Shall we get started? Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think again there are people who has joined up new for this session, but I'll just repeat the disclaimers a little bit more. The session's gonna be interactive, so for that I need every one of you guys to be interactive as well. So it's not gonna be a boring session where only I speak and you don't speak. So of course I can speak on unmute, but you guys can keep putting your opinion, your comments, your questions or answers in the chat box, right? So every 2 minutes I will be having a look at the chat box. So make sure if you want to speak about anything, put it up in the chat box. Okay, that's disclaimer number one. So we need everyone to be active, we need everyone to be focused so that we have a great productive session. Okay, and since we're starting off new, I know a lot of you guys had a session with me last week, but there are people who has joined up new. Okay, so for them, I will just introduce myself a little bit more. So, hi, my name is Meghna, and I am going to take up your session. And I currently work with Amazon. Before this, I've worked with Uber, and before that, I've worked with a consultancy firm called Musicma. So I've been in this field for data science and analytics for over 5 years now. And yeah, that's pretty much my summary. Okay, cool. So are we good? Just put a yes in the chat box. I'll just to see that if everyone has heard the disclaimers and are we all good? Great. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So, um, yeah. So slight change in plan. Okay. We are gonna start with Tableau. Tableau is a very interesting topic and a very easy topic to start off with as well. So we are going to start with Tableau today, and we're gonna finish Tableau, not today, of course, but we will finish Tableau first. That's the first module that we are gonna finish. Okay, it's a BI tool, we all know about it. But just again, one more disclaimer that all the topics that we cover, be it Tableau, be it SQL, be it Python, any topic that we cover over here, everything is gonna be from scratch, like I mentioned in the previous class. Okay. There are many people who are beginners, there are many people who might know a little bit or a lot of it, but since we are trying to accommodate everyone in this session, we're gonna start from scratch. So people who know even a little bit or a good percentage of the topic, it's it's gonna be a revision for you, so you can unlearn a lot of things, learn a lot of new things. But yeah, let's start from the scratch. Okay, so to start off with, I'm sure you guys have heard about Tableau, am I right? So what do you think Tableau does? Any rough idea? You can be, I mean, you can just put up your answers whatever you think. There is no right and wrong answer. Okay, presenting the data similar to tables and charts, analytical tool, data visualization tool, pictorial representation. Yeah. Okay, Amok, I think you just gave the answer. All right, cool. So the answer is, the right answer is that Tableau is a BI tool, right? That's what I had also mentioned, that Tableau is a BI tool. But what does the term BI mean? Any idea on that? Any ever heard about it?
Business intelligence.
Right. So BI means business intelligence. Now, what is business intelligence? right? So business intelligence is an umbrella term. Okay, this is an umbrella term, which means this is a term which takes in a lot of topics inside it, but it's again a term which is very common, or which is very I would say similar to data science or data analytics. So this is an umbrella term which encompasses. I keep typing when I talk as well, so that I can make notes for you guys as well. So it encompasses everything that deals with data. So it encompasses process with data, right? So everything about process of collecting data, analyzing data, visualizing data, so that we can help business take better decisions. So it is business driven. It's completely business driven. Okay. So we are just trying to help business make better decisions. So it's not very much in the lines of prediction or deep dives or root cause analysis, how a typical traditional data analytics or data science work will do. This is more on the terms of business analytics or business understanding and etc., where we kind of process data, we kind of analyze data, we make the data usable, we make the data tell us every insight about it by plotting multiple graphs, like by doing a lot of different stuff, so that we can help business take better decisions. Like for example, we can just build a dashboard which is filled with graphs, this is filled with visualization, that can help business understand that maybe what is the sales that is going on. You have often heard about the term called sales dashboard, right? What is that? So it's like a dashboard. What's a dashboard? A dashboard is like a summary. It's like a summary of information, of graphs or visualization, which will give you a quick glance of what is happening in your business. Like when you drive your car, okay, when you drive your car, the dashboard, what does the dashboard tell you? It doesn't have a lot of things, but it has the things that is going to tell you, is the car up and running, what is the status of that, what is the fuel status, what is the speed status, or what is the right now maybe time or something like that, right? So at a glance, the point is, at a glance you get to see what is happening around your process. To be more specific, business process, and you will be able to see it a little bit in the granular form, not just the headings but also a little bit more of granular. Like by headings I mean that, for example, you get to see that for this month your total sales has been, let's say some $4,000, right? So that's a very uber level information, that your sales, your net sales for this month has been $4,000. Now, as a business owner, you might need to know a little bit more about it. So it will show you that how much did it differ from previous months. Okay, it will, we may have graph which will show you that this $4,000, how was, I mean, for this month, how was it divided across the weeks? Okay, quarter wise, what is the performance, what was the net profit, then maybe products that actually outperformed this month, products that underperformed this week, how is the inventory levels. So all of that information you will be able to see at one place. That's the point of having a BI tool. It makes the business process so easy that you get to see a lot about your business, deal a lot about your business, and make better decisions, like just by having a look and just by seeing what is happening around your business. Was that clear?
Yes.
Right? Is everyone clear till here? What about the rest of you guys? Okay, Ramachandran, that's a good question. In an org, who will be using this tool? So in an org, the business owners will be using this tool. Of course, we are the people who will build the tool. Like we will be building the dashboard or the report inside any BI application. But the business owners, the product managers, they are the one who will be repeatedly using the tool, looking at it, making decisions, and etc. Okay, so the BI tools that are most hyped up is Tableau, maybe Power BI. Okay, there is Looker Studio, which is from Google, and there is QuickSight, which is from Amazon, and likewise. Okay, so these are all the tools that is going to turn your raw data into actionable insights. So, in very simple terms, think of BI as I mean, if you just have to summarize the entire thing, think of BI as a data detective that's gonna help your business find answers, find patterns, find trends, maybe opportunities which is hidden inside the data. That's the whole part of having a BI tool. So if you ask the question that why is BI even needed? Like why is BI needed? Why are we talking so much about it? Because businesses cannot run without BI, right? It helps, it aids in better decision making. Okay. And also, guys, one more thing, today's class is gonna be a little bit more theoretical because we are trying to understand things from scratch. I believe in taking a step back and understanding a little bit more about the background before we jump on the actual details, right? So today's class is gonna be a little bit more theoretical because we are going to understand the topic a little bit more. Okay, from whom are they getting the raw data? That's a separate part. I'll talk about it. Don't worry. So right now we're just understanding the work of BI. Okay. So like I was saying that BI is important because it helps us in better decision making. It helps us in identifying, trend, opportunities, insights. It increases efficiency because you can, if you automate the reports and dashboards, you can save a lot of time and effort. And even the customer's experience, and again, customers mean the business owners, the users of your dashboard, they are going to get a better experience by looking at the dashboard. So the better, efficient, interactive the dashboard or the product that you're building is, the better the decision making process will also be. Okay. Now, if you ask me the problem part of how does it work, so can anyone, now that we have talked so much about it, can anyone help me with understanding how does BI work? Like, what do you think is the process? Like, let's say I tell you that, we are trying to look at the sales part of the company. So what will you do with the help of BI? Any rough idea on that?
Like
Based on the past.
sales comparison from year to this year, and how much growth, how much loss, everything.
Okay, right, right. But I'll suggest that take a step back. Okay, take a step back and tell me a little bit more on the structure. Like, what will be your step-by-step approach? That was my question.
First step would be we'll be collecting the data,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe transforming the data or cleaning the data. Then we are creating the charts and identify the patterns and
Right,
whatever the information required by the business.
right. Yeah, I think kind of that was the answer that I was looking for. So, good job. Right? So, we start by collection of data. Right? We start by collecting the data because anything is not possible without my raw data, right? So we start gathering data from multiple sources. So to answer your question, where do we get the raw data from? We start gathering the data or raw data from multiple sources. Okay. Now think about this. Now, since we're talking about the data, so I'll come back to the rest of the steps in a while. Data. Okay. So ideally, data and how does the data get stored? Let's understand a little bit more detail on that. Okay. Let's say there is a supermarket. I'm just abbreviating it as SM. There is a supermarket. Okay. Think about the fact that how does this supermarket collect its raw data? Any idea on that? How will the supermarket collect or get its data sorted? Take a
By
guess.
sale,
Mm,
like
obviously,
at the time of checkout, they will
mm,
collect what all items everyone is purchasing.
okay, okay, right. Anything else? Anyone? Sales, floor systems, anything else? Is it only the sales data?
Also the inventory data,
Mm-hmm. Right,
also the staff data.
right. Okay, okay. So to make things a little bit easier, okay, think about it. It might be maintaining its data somewhere. So let's say it created a, for example, very basic, okay, very simple. Maybe it created an Excel file, okay, and it
Please
starts,
repeat once.
sorry, repeat what part?
Like from the you're telling na from sales from that
Mm.
portion. I have lost in between.
Okay, okay. So I was just talking about a supermarket and how does they collect data, okay? So I'm saying think about from the basic perspective. Maybe this supermarket can just maintain log just maintain a table like a simple Excel table, and just start logging in the information of what are the products that are there in with them that they're selling, right? Of course they will stock up different products in different quantities, right? So they can just have a detail of maintaining the product and the stock level of that particular product, right? So this will become their inventory data. Okay. So if each time a new product comes up, it will be added in this table. Okay. Each time a product gets restocked, that will also be updated in this table and etc. So inventory data is sorted. Same way, it can have information about the staffs who are working with them, what is their role in this company of supermarket, etc. So they can maintain a staff data. Same way, whenever a customer is visiting the store, they are by purchasing few items, so they come to the billing counter, they scan their product, they make a bill out of it, and the customer pays, right? So that means they will have the information of the customer's detail, like for example the customer's, let's say, ID. Okay, I mean ID will be something that will be generated in the background. For example, you came to the store, maybe you will get a customer ID 1. The next person came to the store will get a customer ID 2, likewise. So we have customer IDs which basically will understand each customer individually. Okay, so we'll have the customer ID, we'll have what kind of products did he buy, okay, what were their quantity, what was the order amount, what was the time when they purchased, and etc. Right? So this, all of this can be considered as the sales table, right? Now, of course, having said that, think about it that when this kind of transaction is happening in the billing counter, it is not entered in an Excel table. No one is manually entering it into an Excel table. Because whenever we think about data, we imagine it to be like a table with rows and columns, right? That's how we imagine data, right? But no one is going to manually enter each sales transaction inside the table. Of course, there are, there are businesses which do that, but it's kind of manual. So there are database engineers who work with setting up data pipelines. They are the ones who extract all of this information and make a data pipeline so that all this information get processed and stored in a very organized way in the form of rows and columns in a particular table. right? So that's the work of database engineers, okay, or maybe data pipeline owners who make the data pipelines, and we get to see the end table and we get to use the end table as well. So that became my sales table. Similarly, there can be a table where we store the customer's detail. So these are called demographic details, like the customer's ID, of course, the customer's name, the customer's age, email address, city that they're transacting with, and everything, right? So that will basically form the customer's detail table as well. So now you get an idea how they work around and get their data sorted. Like, how do they collect their data and how does the raw data come from? Is that clear now?
Yeah.
Also, I see a question from Amog. Like, give me a minute. It's about Amazon and how does data get stored in Amazon. So again, guys, a humble request to everyone that since I work with Amazon, or if I would have worked with any other company, it is not allowed for me to talk about internal details of that particular company, especially data. It's like highly secure topic. So I would not like to talk about that, but I can talk about any other, I mean, in general, any company, how do they store their data? Right? So works? Can I get a yes or no from everyone? Great. So think about this. From all of these, we can create, we can have data pipelines, which gives us the final tables, the final data tables for all of this information. But apart from that, also there are, online stores. They also have certain data. We have customer feedback data, which we get from, which we get from feedback forms, surveys, etc. So yeah, data can be collected in multiple form. It can be collected from websites, from cloud platforms, from these all things, and etc. Right? So that's where the raw data is coming from. So I think Weber, I answered your question, right? Any which ways, all of this data gets collected and we kind of use a term called database. So database is basically where we store all this data. So database collects and stores data in an organized way. So when we learn about SQL, we will be talking about database in more detail, but there are databases which collects and stores data in the most organized way, in a way that it is easier for retrieval, it is easier for storage, it is easier for updation and etc. Like if you have to, let's say, add a new data point, it should be super easy and super efficient. If you have to, let's say, fetch or access a particular data point, that also should be easy and that also should be very easy to access as well, right? So that's about database. So we basically collect our data from databases. We fetch our data into the Tableau for databases. In fact, SQL is the only language, okay, that is going to directly extract data from databases. So after we do that, after we get the data from databases, then only we basically extract it into Tableau or Python or any other tool for that matter. Okay. Yeah, Tableau works with organized data only. Yeah. So when we talk about organized data, data is actually of three formats. I'll just brief about that also quickly. Data is actually based on three formats. There is structured data, there is semi-structured data, and there is unstructured data. Since we're talking about data, let's just understand data a little bit more. So there are three formats of data: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Structured is the data that you always imagine it to be, right? Because it's the best form of data. So this is the data which is completely structured, right? It is completely structured, it is completely organized. So it is present in a tabular format. It is always present in a tabular format with rows and columns. Okay. So for example, the data that you see in Excel, that's a uh, structured data, right? With the one where we have proper rows and columns and etc. Is that clear? First thing. Everyone, guys, clear with structured data? Okay. Then comes semi-structured data. What does that mean? So semi-structured data is a data which has some structure. It has some structure, but it has unstructured data as well. For example, just to understand it better, for example, okay, firstly, I hope you understood the fact that structured means something which can be divided into rows and columns. Okay, and unstructured means something which doesn't have this rows and columns format in general. Okay, so for example, emails are semi-structured data. Why? In an email you will always know who is the sender, who is the receiver, right, of the email. These are things which will, no matter what, you will always have this information. And right, and I can basically put it up in the form of columns, right? But the even the subject of the email and etc, these are things which are known. These are things which are just, which can just be put in one column. But think about the message content or the message body. That can have anything. That can have text, that can have images, that can have files, that can have hyperlinks. It can have anything in the message content, and that's why it is unstructured. Okay, so the part where we can divide it into columns like sender, receiver, subject, etc, that is the structured part. And the rest of the part, the message body, is unstructured, because that has a lot of different stuff, right? So we cannot literally divide it into columns, or we cannot process it in an organized way. So that's why it is called as semi-structured data. So are we good with semi-structured data?
SQL and PostgreSQL, all those kind of relational database can come into the structured data.
Yeah, those are all structured data. I
Yeah.
mean, see, Project SQL, MySQL, all of those are softwares. They are not data, or they are not databases. They are software. They are database management systems. They are softwares. Again, when we talk about SQL, I can detail it out. But yeah, to answer your question, Tableau can connect to both relational databases and also NoSQL databases.
Okay. Any other example of semi-structure apart from email?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, emails are for example, semi-structured data. There can be other things also which comes under semi-structured data. Let's say, for example, a website, right? Or I mean, semi-structured data are mostly the data that comes in JSON format, XML format. JSON format, XML format mostly again comes from website data. Let's say there is a website which is up and running. Okay, so what is there in the website? There can be images, there can be chatbot, there can be interactions, there can be dashboard inside a website, and multiple more things. And there can be few things which are structured, like for example, the website's heading, the website's traffic, how many people visited the website, and etc. So again, a part of it is structured, a part of it is unstructured, right? So that's semi-structured data. Then we are coming to the part of unstructured data. This is the data which has no format, no structure at all, right? So that means this particular data has nothing to that can be basically put in rows or columns, right? So that's the reason this is called as unstructured data. So for example, if you have images, if you have videos, if you have text files, those are all unstructured data. Now you will ask me, what about images, videos? Why do we need them? Think about it. We do so much of analysis, we do so many interesting intelligent projects on healthcare, and most of them need information. So we can have x-rays, we can have MRI scans, which we have to process. So it's like it's all images. There is nothing that is getting stored in the form of table. All of these are images, and you have to work around with those images, right? So that's why those are unstructured data, and for that we cannot use Excel, we cannot use Tableau for those kind of data. And for that we have different tools. For mostly we use AI and NLP to process them. But yeah, so are we all good with these details about structure of data?
Hi, everyone. So also we cannot use the Power BI for the unstructured data.
Power BI for?
Unstructured data.
No, it's works same like Tableau. So it can
Okay.
connect with NoSQL and it will connect with relational. But unstructured data cannot be processed. Unstructured data can be processed if you convert that unstructured data to structured data. There are tools, there are toolkits that can help you do that. So yeah,
Yeah, actually I just joined few minutes back. So
yeah, no worries. Okay, cool. So we are good till here. Coming back to our how does BI work? So now we know that data gets collected. Then after we collect the data, what do we do? Do we directly start analyzing the data? Do you think I can directly start analyzing the data if after I gather my data? Yes or no?
No, you have to like
No.
clean the data.
Right. Hmm. Right. So we cannot directly process the data in 95 or 98% of time, because we need to clean the data. We need to make the data usable. There can be multiple problems in the data, right? For example, missing data, duplicate data, unnecessary columns, or maybe the data is not in the structure that I want it to be, and etc. So we basically process the data and we make the data usable and we prepare it for our analysis. Then we go around with our data analysis. Then we go with our data analysis. This is where we apply analytics. This is where we create interactive dashboards, charts, graphs, everything, so that we can see what is the insight that is present in the data. And after we are done with all of this, that's when the process of decision making happens. When the then the analytics part is done, it's all out there for users, business owners to use them. That's when they use insights from the tool, from the product that we have built, to you I mean to make better decisions, better business strategies in their particular domain, in their particular business, right? For example, healthcare. So in healthcare, we can have a whole health monitoring dashboard, which can analyze patients' data, which can analyze hospitals' occupancy, what is disease trend. Like for example, when COVID had hit, we had a very interesting popular dashboard called as John Hopkins dashboard. So it was because it was from the University of John Hopkins, but that dashboard was very interesting. It showed us the whole information of how is the COVID disease trending, like what is the fatality rate, what is the infection rate, what is the recovery rate, in which locations around the world is this happening, with a map and etc. So that's how your dashboards or BI tools actually help you in general. Is that clear? Is this part clear for everyone? 100% Amog, 100%. We definitely need to start with brainstorming of what is the problem we are trying to solve. Then comes the part of collecting data, processing data. And I think I talked about this in the previous class as well, that we start off with defining the data. Defining the problem, and then we start off with the rest of the process, right? Okay, so we are good, right? Any doubts, any questions still here? Okay, now
So
coming to the,
are
sorry,
we starting with this Power BI first or Python first?
Tableau. We are starting with Tableau.
Okay.
Okay.
I had one question. As you have written
Hmm.
that structured data, Tableau does the structured data, for example, Excel. So before starting Tableau, are we going to do Excel first?
No. We are going to start with Tableau. But your question is that because it's structured data, we are going to see it in Excel. Is that your question?
Like yes, like some things we have to do on Excel first, then we are going to put the
Uh,
things on Tableau, right?
Yeah, usually in a company, you try to clean the data inside, I mean, wherever you're fetching the data from. Usually we do that, but there are tools, there are processes installed in all BI tools that can help you clean your data as well. So you can do the whole cleaning processing part inside Tableau as well.
Okay, so we are going to just take the data, raw data, and put it like from Excel and put it in the Tableau, right?
Not just from Excel. I'll talk about that. It can connect from
Okay.
multiple sources. Okay. Cool. So we were talking about Tableau and how it is a BI tool. It is popular because it kind of helps business visualize, understand their data very quickly, right? Uh, so for example, a sales team will just use Tableau and analyze the customer's purchases, identify trends, and even create dashboards for better decision making, right? Now talking a little bit more about Tableau, okay? Like I was saying that it's like Tableau is a easy to use data visualization tool. Okay. Why Tableau? Because it's, of course, a BI tool and all of that set apart. It's a powerful and very easy to use data visualization tool, which is gonna help users understand and analyze data through multiple interactive visualizations like charts, like graphs, like dashboards, and etc. And it actually allows users to convert the raw data that we have into, give me a minute.
And I have just one question.
Yeah.
Uh, like, do we need any prerequisite for this for this Tableau?
No,
No.
right now, no. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I will talk about those.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking that we were about to start like Python class first. So,
No, that's why I said slight change in plan in the
so
start of the class. Okay.
okay.
All right. Cool. So Tableau basically allows users to convert the raw data that we have. My bad. The raw data that we have to meaningful insights. Okay. So think of Tableau as a smart digital artist. It just takes your data, the numbers, the tables, the spreadsheets, whatever you give it, and turns it into a very beautiful, easy to read picture that actually tells you a lot about, whole insight of the business and etc. So it's all about finding patterns. It's all about finding insights from the huge amount of data. Now, obviously, for you to go around and do this entire process, you will first need to know what are you trying to solve. The first step to solving any problem is to understand the scope of the problem, to understand what are we trying to solve, what is our objective. Only then we will be able to understand what kind of data do we need. Is that the right data? Is it the sufficient data for the problem that I'm trying to solve? And only then we can start building a dashboard, right? Like even if you have the sales data, you cannot build the dashboard until unless you don't know what is the purpose of that dashboard. If the purpose of that dashboard is to just to monitor sales, just to understand how the company is performing from the last few years, then you can build a proper sales dashboard out of it. So you need to know what is the purpose of each dashboard. Only then you can put the right graphs at the right place, right kind of information at the right place, and etc. Right? Okay, so are we all good till here? Like, also one important part, that there is very less coding required. That's the reason why we started with the BI tool. BI tools are so smart. They have a plethora of tools, and they have a plethora of functions inside any BI tool. That, for that matter, Tableau as well. There are a lot of things that are already there. So all you have to do is drag and drop. So the most of the things are drag and drop. It's very easy to use, and it requires very less amount of coding. So that's why it is one of the good topics to start with, because it's easy to understand and grasp as well. Okay. So we are good till here, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Also, one of the good parts about Tableau is that it can do real-time data analysis. Right? So don't think about it from a very traditional approach. Think about it that in general, it's not like you put up a data file, like you just took up a data file. Let's say you have a sales data which has recorded sales from, let's say, 2020 to 2024. So let's say you have this sales data from 2020 to 2024, 4 years of sales data. So it's not just like that you took this data, you have put it inside Tableau, and you have built a dashboard out of it, right? So your dashboard will basically show whatever it is supposed to show, it will show all of that. But Tableau does a little bit more than that. It can do real-time data analysis, which means tomorrow, if you also have, let's say, 2025's data, because now that 2025 started, so we will have the January data of 2025. So we can update, the whole dashboard will automatically get updated with updated data. So it can connect to live databases, it can update automatically, and it will help the business make real-time decisions as well. So you don't even have to manually go and update the data and manually go and rebuild the dashboard again and again when your data gets updated. That's the reason why people use BI. Right? It's like you just connect it to the data source, and whenever the data source gets updated, this dashboard will also get updated accordingly. And so you can set your preferences, but you can do real-time analysis inside Tableau. That's a good part of Tableau. Got that point, everybody? I'll talk about that point and how it is done in Tableau a little bit more in detail, but is that clear? Database stores traditional data. Can you give us example of real-time data consumed by Tableau? Yeah, see, database stores traditional data, but data is stored in a database in the form of tables, in the form of rows and columns. So Tableau is also going to utilize the same thing. It's not like Tableau consumes some other form of data. Tableau is also going to consume the same data that you have in your Excel, the same data that you have in your databases, etc. There's no change in that. Whatever you are feeding in inside Tableau, it is going to take that data and it is just going to use it up as a tabular information. That's it. Got the point?
Yeah.
Okay. And the best part about Tableau is that it can connect to multiple data sources. That's what I was trying to talk about. That it can connect. It's not like I just have to upload an Excel file. No. Tableau can fetch data from multiple sources. Like it can take up Excel files, it can get connected to SQL databases, it can take up Google spreadsheets, it can take up CSV files, it can even connect to cloud services like AWS and etc. So all of that is possible. Now imagine this, you have your database server which stores your data, you can just connect this to Tableau. So your Tableau will extract the data every time from here and work on it, and whatever process you have set up inside Tableau, that's gonna get rebuilt again and again, and it all of that gets automated. Everything over here. Got it? Is it clear?
Also, I mean, this process can happen with unstructured data also, right?
Yeah, for unstructured data, you cannot directly upload the unstructured data, but you
Uh-huh.
can connect to NoSQL database, because NoSQL, again, I said, like, I can talk about it in more detail when we learn about in SQL classes. But
Uh,
when you connect to NoSQL database, that's one platform, that's one software which helps you, work around with unstructured, semi-structured data. So it can process that data. It has tools or structure to process that data. So that's why Tableau can utilize NoSQL database.
okay. No, my question was more around like what if Tableau have to represent some data which is coming, I mean, which is stored in a form of JSON. So, for
It
that
has, yeah.
we need to like write a process in a Tableau in such a way that it extracts the data from JSON, right?
Yes, of course. It can, you have to connect it to a similar source, and it has
Mhm.
JSON parsing. Like it
Okay.
can parse the JSON files. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And what about others? Everybody good till here? Okay. Now is the part of setting up Tableau. So if we are trying to look into, work with, we're working with Tableau, we have to set up Tableau in our laptops. Okay. So let's set that up quickly. So for setting up Tableau, there are three things in Tableau. Okay. So there is a Tableau public version. Okay. You need to know about these things, because when you go to a company, they can have different versions. So this is free. Okay, Tableau Public is free, great for beginners, so you can learn a lot from it, but it has limited features because there are paid versions. For example, Tableau Desktop, it's a paid version. Okay, they can give it to you with a free trial, but the free trial is only for 14 or 15 days. Okay, so this offers more features. This can connect to more data sources and etc. And the other one is Tableau Online. Okay, that's for teams, organizations that share dashboards online. So that's the three versions of Tableau that we have. Of course, we are going to start with Tableau Public, because that's free and we are going to use it for our beginner level understanding and etc. Okay, so let me give you guys the link to download Tableau Public. Give me a minute. Yeah, Tableau Online is also licensed, yes. Oh, that's why I said only organizations can use it. I think they've changed the UI a little bit. Give me a minute. Yeah, this is the download link, but there will be one more link which will have the versions. Give me a minute. I think it is this link. Can you guys just try to download from this link? This is Tableau Public. Just try to sign up and it will give you a link to download it.
Sign in with this link. So we are not. I'm not able to get the option to download it.
Okay.
There is a option behind Tableau Public. You can see a create button and drop down. You can see download Tableau Desktop Public Edition.
They have changed the UI. So yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I think this link. Okay, guys, give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah, this link will give you the same link that I gave you. This link will give you the option to download. If you fill out your details, there's an option called download the app. Can you see it over here? If you download the app, it will help you download it. Like it will get it downloaded to your system. Can you guys try that quickly? Just let me know once you guys are done.
Hi, I'm able to sign in, but not able to see the download options.
If you sign in, after you sign in, you will get this download option in few minutes. So just like let's wait for 2 minutes. It will be giving you and refreshing the page and showing you this page where you can download.
So where this option will come?
In the
Can
same
you show
link.
me in your screen?
Same link. Oh, my screen is not on share. Okay, in the same link. If you see, it's the same link that I've given you. Here only you will get the option of download the app.
Debashish, after signing, on the top you will get two options, create and learn. Or create is a both are the drop down window. So if you hover on the create window, there will be option to download. You click it there, then you will come to this window. Just, just try it out.
Okay.
This window will directly come when you click on Meghna ma'am's
Yes,
link.
for me, I did not hover on create.
Yes.
I did not do anything of that sort. I just signed in and it showed me this option where I can just fill in and I can download the app.
Yes. The data has to be filled before that. Then you can download it. Once you get into the download page, it will hover one thing. If it is not automatically downloading, you can click on the Windows or MacBook, whatever PC you're having.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll just show it from scratch again. So let's say I search Tableau Tableau public download. You can just click on the first link. Okay, this link shows that this is Tableau public. So there's a create a free profile. If you click on create a free profile, yeah, within few minutes it will ask you to sign it. For me, I have already signed it, so it is showing me this. This is one. Or here you can go to Tableau public. Okay. Sign up for Tableau public, and this again will help you create an account. Sorry. Okay. So once you sign up, after a few minutes, it is showing you, it is going to give you this particular, in the same link, it is going to give you this particular link for downloading it as well. In fact, someone has already sent the APK in the chat box. If you want, you can download it from there as well. Okay, so who asked this question? Debashish. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Yes. Thanks.
Just let me know, everyone, once you guys have downloaded it. And after downloading it, install it as well. So the install process is very simple. It's as simple as installing any other software. So you just have to install it like any other software in your laptop. So just let me know after you download and install it.
Sorry, ma'am, I missed what you said. To install, just need to click, double click on that, right?
Just normal install, how you install anything in your laptop, same way. Okay, guys, are we all done? So once you download and install Tableau Public, it is going to look something like this. Just let me know once you guys are done. Okay. So this is the Tableau Public home screen. On the left, you get options of connections. On the right, you get to learn about Tableau's latest updates and etc. All about it. And if there is an update required for your Tableau, it will also show up over here or over here. Okay. So this is Tableau Public's basic version. Okay. On the left side, like you see, you can connect to multiple data sources. Can you see? You can connect to Excel file, text file, JSON file, PDF file, spatial file, statistical file. You can connect to a servers like Google Drive or data. There are more as well. So you can connect to all of these once at once inside Tableau. Right? These are the connections. On the left, these are the connections. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Let me send you guys the data set in the chat box. Give me a minute. Okay. I've sent the data in the chat box. Can you guys quickly download the data? Let me know once you're done. Done, right? Okay. So what file is this? This is an Excel file. So what I'll do, I'll click on Microsoft Excel. Why? Because I'm trying to connect a Excel file. So I'll just click on Microsoft Excel. I'm just going to click on the data set that I've given you guys as well. And I'm just going to click on open. Don't try to do it parallelly. I will give you time to execute, right? I will give you time. So when I am doing something on the screen, just focus on the screen so that you get to capture all the steps. Later on, I'll give you time to execute it on your own. Okay. Cool. So all I did is I connected my data. I connected my Excel data and it came up. It just opened up the Tableau's basic home page after you connect your data. On the left hand side, if you see, you will be able to you will be able to see your data. These are your data tables. There are three tables: orders, people, and returns. These are the three tables. These are not required. Okay. The first three are orders, peoples, and returns. These are the ones that are required. If I have to view the data, what I'll do is I'll drag the tables. Okay. So let's say I have to view orders or I have to use orders. I will just drag orders and put it up over here. Can you see that it automatically is showing up that this is the orders data set? Okay, on the left hand side, you can see that it is showing more details on orders data set, like type of the data set. The type of the column, what is the name of the column, which table does it store, orders is the table, and all of that. Okay, is that clear till here? Is the process clear till here? And only then I'll move forward. Okay, so have you, and now you guys can just load your Excel file inside Tableau. Just let me know once you are done. Repeat which part, Sarika? Extracting? No, I did not extract. After I connected my data, all I did was I just dragged orders in the main white area. That's it. Just drag it into the white area.
Uh, and if in case we drag same table again, so will not. I hope it will not impact like anything, right?
Nothing will happen. It will not connect because it will throw an error over here. So you can just take this and drop it out like
Okay.
this.
Okay. And why it is showing no need more data above?
It is asking you, do you need more data? Then drag those tables. That's all.
Okay.
We are good? Everyone till here? Is it done?
Yes.
Okay, just let me know if you guys need a break. I'll be going for 1 hour more. So just let me know if you guys need a break. Yes or no? No, yes, no.
Yeah, let's continue. Everyone has to go.
Yes. Okay, so usually when I take sessions for more than 2 hours, I try to give a break. Um, okay, for today, let's continue, but usually we will give breaks in the next classes, okay? Link for data. Yeah, I'll just send the data set once again.
I got disconnected. Can I get the link again for the data?
I'm sending it in the chat box. Sent in the chat box. Okay, cool. So when you drag your orders in this white area, your orders table is visible right now. Now what you see on the screen, on this left hand side, this part, this part, okay, just this part shows you the details of the table. Okay, the details of the table. For example, what is the column name, which table is the column name from, and etc. And also the type. So type over here means data type. Every column will have a data type. And data type, well, the term data type, what it means is that it is going to tell us that in this particular column, the data that is stored in this particular column, what is the type of that particular data? Is it numerical? If it is numerical, then is it whole number, or is it like decimal numbers, or is it like textual data, or is it like a date data, or is it like a time data, or is it like a location data, or is it like more of a boolean data like true, false, etc. That's what the data type means, right? So if you see the first row in this particular preview in the left, it is a hashtag symbol. Okay, and it says that the field name is row ID. So why hashtag? Because this hashtag means this is a numerical data, which means in this column the contents of this column are numerical, which means numbers. Same way abc means textual data or string data, we also call it string data. So abc is textual data, which means this order id is a textual data. If you look at order date, Order date shows you a small calendar symbol. Calendar symbol because this is date data type. It stores date. So that's why it's a calendar data type. Right? If you scroll down, okay, let me just delete and scroll down. You will get to see that all the columns are presented with different data types. Like for example, country region is a location based data. City is a location based data. State is a location based data. That's why the symbol is of a globe. This means location based data. Okay. See, again, numbers, right? Hashtag means numbers. And that's how you basically get to see so much about your raw data, that what are the columns, what are the data types in each of the columns, and etc. Is this left part clear for everyone? Okay, what about the rest of you guys? Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the right hand side, if you see, this is the left hand side showing you the structure of the table. This is going to show you the schema of the table. Schema means structure. So this shows you the structure of the table, that these are the columns, these are the data types of the columns, and etc. On the right hand side, in this part, this actually shows you a preview of the table, preview of your data. Okay, preview of the data. So it shows you a sample, data, and how the data actually looks like in your orders. So if you scroll towards the right, you will be able to see all the columns and the sample data in that. Sample data in the sense it will not show all the rows, but it will show a handful of rows. Okay, which is 100 right now. So if you scroll right, you will be able to see all the details over here. For every column, you will be able to view and preview your data. Okay. Now, and also on the top of every column, you get to see what is the data type of every column. Okay. Now, there are so many tools even inside this, but this is the simple basic preview. Now, in this preview, if you notice one thing, there are so many columns, okay, but in these columns, few columns are blue in color versus few columns are green in color. Like the data type of few columns are blue in color versus few are in green. Can anyone tell me why so? Any idea?
Because
Take
they
a
are
rough.
numeric digit.
Row ID is also numeric, right? But it's in blue. Why are these in green?
That is ID, maybe
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe decimal.
Quantity is not in decimal.
Maybe primary key, secondary key.
Like changing thing. Maybe row ID you cannot change. It's like inbuilt or something.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So, give me 1 minute. I'll just mute some. There's some background news on your end, Krishna. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. So there are two things in Tableau. Okay. So the blue color and the green color fields are considered a little different. Okay. So there is a blue one and there is a green one. The blue one is called a dimension. And the green one is called a measure. These two terms in Tableau. It's gonna be very important. Okay. What is a dimension versus what is a measure? Okay. Now, if you see, there are there are many fields over here which are blue in color. Then they are the ones which are called dimensions, right? So dimensions basically mean something that something that is descriptive in nature. Okay, so data, if you see, if you look at the raw data, there are numerical data, there are textual data, and etc. Usually, we can say all the numeric data is continuous data and all the textual data is categorical data. Okay, so dimension blue, I'll just type it over here. Dimension blue represents categorical data. Measure green represents continuous data. What is categorical? What is continuous data? Okay. So categorical data is data that is descriptive in nature. Continuous data is a data that is quantitative in nature or numerical in nature. Like for example, if I try to measure height, weight, age, these are all data types that is always gonna be numerical and they can be anything within a range of values. Like in a class of students, like let's say there are 50 students in a class. Okay, and if I try to measure their height is always gonna be numerical. And second thing, let's say from particular range x to y range, their height can be anything within this range. It can be 5 feet 3 inches or 5 feet 2 inches or 5 feet 1. It can be anything, but it can be, I mean, it can be put inside a range. That's a second point. So point being, this is a continuous data, which means data that falls under a numerical range of values and is continuous in nature, which means it can have any numerical value possible over here. That's a continuous data. Versus categorical data is a data which is descriptive in nature. Like if I tell you fruits, right? Fruits is a column which has apple, mango, kiwi, etc. So it is describing the value, right? So it is like all the values in that particular column can either be apple or be mango or be orange and likewise. For example, gender column, the gender can either be female or be male or be unknown. So these are categorical columns. Dimensions are categorical columns because they are descriptive fields, fields that categorize data but they do not perform any mathematical calculations. That's why they are called as categorical data. Okay, they do not perform any mathematical calculations because you cannot perform mathematical calculations on descriptive data, right? Data which is in mostly in textual nature. That's called descriptive data, right? Think of them as labels or groups. Okay, think of them as labels or groups. They kind of define what the data is about. For example, customer name, for example, product category, for example, order date or country. They are defining what the data is about. So they are typically text, date, geographical data, and etc. Right? So that's a dimension. Versus a measure, the one that is in the green color, like I said, is a continuous data, which is numerical values that can be mathematically computed firstly and can also be aggregated. These are values, that's why it's called measure, because these are values that can be aggregated. Aggregated means these are the values on which I can calculate aggregations like sum, average, and etc. I can calculate these mathematical statistical functions on these values. So they define how much of something. These measures are always numbers that define how much of something, like integer values or decimal values. For example, sales revenue, profit, quantity sold, discount, and etc. Those are basically measures, right? Now you will ask, then why is row ID not a measure? It's also numerical in nature. Because row ID, if you see, is actually nothing but a row identifier. It is not defining how much of anything. There's no point of aggregating this information. This will not give us any information. This is just a row identifier. This is just telling me this is row number 1, 2, 3, 4, and likewise. So it's more of an identifier, which is not just going to identify each row. No other information can be extracted, right? Like based on row ID, I won't calculate the total sales or anything, right? Or I won't calculate total row IDs present, right? I can just use it as a dimension, or I can just skip using it. This is something that is not gonna be that useful for us, right? That's why Tableau is smart enough to understand that this is just an ID column, like for example, customer ID or registration ID and etc. And that's why it has not taken it up as a measure versus the rest has been taken it up as a measure. These are the things that I can calculate, aggregate upon. Is that clear? Is it clear till here?
Yes. Yes.
Is dimension versus measure clear for others?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and whenever you do any kind of analysis, this part is going to be very important, dimension versus measure. Because for example, if you want to calculate total sales, you will have to put it up as a measure. Like you will have to take it up from measure. Versus when you take up something like, let's say you want to say see sales by region. So in that case, region will be a dimension and sales will be in the measure. So you will have to choose your visualization, your calculations based on this fact as well. So it's very important, the whole part of, dimension and measure and etc. Now that we know about this, okay, let's understand a little bit more detail about what are the things that we can do with this preview. Firstly, if you don't want to see the schema over here, you can just click on this left arrow over here called collapse. If you collapse it, the table details will be hidden and it will only show you the preview as of now. Okay, so you can see the preview more clearly. Okay. And second thing, like I said, a very initial process of using any data is to understand the data, right? Okay, again, not necessarily all numeric data is a measured data. For example, in survey, the ratings or scale is numeric, but is actually dimension. No, not always, Amog. Even if it is rating, you can calculate what is the average rating of every product. So when you calculate what
No,
is
no,
the
no.
average
No,
rating,
I'll
then
sorry cut you. So suppose on a scale of 10, right? In a survey data, you
hmm,
have scale of 5, right? That
hmm.
is the maximum. So 5 is best, 4 is
Yeah,
right. So that
yeah,
is again numeric, but you don't want to aggregate those.
yeah,
Get my point?
yeah.
So
So data
so
that
that
is
is again
getting,
numeric,
yeah.
but that
Hmm.
is a dimension data. So we should be clear what is a dimension data. Not all numeric data, especially in the survey data, is uh, your measure data, is what I want to say. Especially in surveys, if you have,
Yeah, I got
you
your
need
point.
to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so one thing is that it's not about numeric versus textual, but it is
Yes.
about the interpretation of that
Yes. Yes.
column. Okay, so when you're saying about five is best and let's say one is worst, so it's a label. That is a label. It doesn't determine anything else, but it is like a label. So in that column, the values will either be 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 as one or 1. So that will be considered as a categorical data. But if you want to see that what is the average rating that has been received for a particular product, then it will again be considered as a measure. So it depends on use case to use case. It depends on scenario to scenario. Okay, but there's no hard rule over here, guys, that just because it is a number, it is supposed to be numeric. I mean, that's supposed to be measure versus dimension. Like you see, row ID. It is a numeric in nature, but it's not a measure. That's what I said, that this is not going to be considered as a measure. This is going to be considered as a part of dimensions. Is that clear? Is that clear for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Amog, you're good. We can move ahead. Great. Okay, so I was talking about. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, okay. So now that you see, this is our table. Okay, this is our table. And here, the dimensions, measures, everything show up with different data types that are present. So data types are represented on the top. Now, there are a lot of column formattings, data formattings that we can do. And a very initial step of our processing of data is cleaning the data or processing the data or making it as usable as we want. So let's say you want to change the data type. Let's say you want to change the data type of some particular column. Let's say for row id you want to change it from numerical to textual data. How will you do it? Right, it's very simple. You don't even have to write a code. You can just click on this. Okay, you can just click on this arrow over here. 1 second, my screen is stuck, give me 1 minute. Okay, I think it's good now. Anyway, here, and if you see, if you click on this, you can choose what is the data type that you want to convert it to. For example, I clicked on number decimal. So when I clicked on number decimal, it got converted from the whole number to decimal numbers. So even if it doesn't have a decimal point, it will get represented as a decimal number. Same way, if you click on it and if you just choose number whole, it will get converted to whole numbers. Same way, if you 1 second, if you click on it and if you put it as string is string data. So even if it looks the same, if you see on top, the data type got changed to ABC, which means this is a string data. So you can convert the data type of any column present over here with a simple click of on the data type. And with that, you can just quickly change the data type from whatever you want. Is that clear? Is that part clear for everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you give some real-time example why someone want to change the data type? I mean,
Yeah, sure. So usually when you get a data, right, there can be scenarios where a data which is supposed to be numerical is getting processed as a string data. That can be possible because of multiple reasons, right? So that's where you can basically customize the data columns, right? And you can just say that, no, this is supposed to be numerical, but it is getting stored as text, so I have to change it. And this especially happens with date data types as well. A lot of times in a lot of scenarios, the date data type, because of a little bit um interpretation issues, it doesn't get considered as a date data type. Mostly it gets considered as a text data type. But of course, you have to represent date as a date data type so that you can use date functions, so that you can interpret it as a date. And later on, when you go ahead and plot monthly sales, yearly sales, and etc., you have to extract and work with the date. So that's why you need to convert it to date data type. So you have to make sure all the columns are in right data type. And in case any column is not in the right data type and is not set perfectly for the analysis, you can convert it in this form. Is that clear?
yes, yes.
So can you guys quickly maybe just try these out, all the things that I spoke about? Can you guys quickly just try it out and let me know once you're done? Like I said, I'll give you time to execute. Okay, are we good? No, I don't want you to do anything on this table. I just want you to explore whatever I spoke about so that it's like live practice for all of you guys. So are we good, guys?
Yes.
Spatial data type, yes. Spatial data type is for location, yes. Location-based data, geographical data. Okay, we are good. Cool. Next up, in this particular column, in this particular preview, you can see that there are 20 fields and 10,933 rows. So it shows you that these are the total number of rows and columns that we have. Secondly, there are 100 rows that are being showed in the preview. Now, let's say you, for example, over here, you want to see that what is the range of sales that we have. So you can quickly just order it into ascending to descending. So when you click on this button, the first thing that comes is ascending. And from the symbol itself, you can see that this is ascending. So the lowest amount of sales we got is around $8. The highest amount of sales that we got is around $3,187. So you can quickly check the data, quickly sort it up, ascending, descending, just with this simple option. Okay, this is one thing. So I'm just showing you, I'm just making you I'm just making you comfortable with the whole Tableau's UI, right? So these are not basic, these are not exactly uh pointers, but these are basically the UI details. I'm just helping you and showing you around that where is what. Okay. um Also, guys, if you're not speaking anything, can you guys please be on mute because there can be background noise. Okay, cool. So this will help you with sorting. Okay, and again over here, if you click on the top right or arrow,
Sorry, I had a question regarding the sales. When I clicked on it, like it's showing ascending, descending, and what is 197?
what
I
is?
understand 197, like it's 3187, right? It's in descending order. Can you click once again?
Sorry, I can't understand your question. Can you come again?
When I click on ascending and descending order,
Uh,
first it's showing as 3187. Then next, when I click on second time, it's showing 197.
yeah, this is
So
the original order. This is the original order. If you look at the row ID, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this is
yeah,
how the original data is in this order. If you sort it into ascending, one second. If you sort it into ascending, it's 8.69, but look at the row ID. This that gets unsorted, right? Because you're sorting all the rows. When you sort a particular column, all the rows will also get rearranged, right? That's why.
yeah,
Got it?
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I was saying that on a particular column, okay, on a particular column, if you, like for example, this column, if you click on the top right arrow, there are a lot of options that are there over here as well, which will help you in column formatting. Like for example, you can rename the column by clicking on rename. You can copy all the values present in this column with copy values. You can hide this column. Let's say you don't want this column anymore, so you can hide this column as well, okay, by clicking on hide. And same way you can unhide the column as well, clicking on the same arrow. Aliases, we will talk about it later. Calculated field, we'll talk about later. Group, we'll talk about later. These are things related to calculations, so we'll talk about them later. You can split the column. Okay, so for example, if I click on split, what happens is it is going to split this particular column. It is supposed to split this particular column based on an identifier. So if you see, what it did, it created an extra column. See, this is the product name original column. It created two extra column called split 1 and split 2, wherein it just randomly split the column into two halves. Okay, one half is showing the first part and the second part likewise. Okay, so let's say I don't need it, so I can just go ahead and delete it. Same way for this, I don't need it, I can go ahead and delete it. Okay, let me take a column which actually makes sense when we split it up. let's say order product ID. Okay, so in product ID, if I click on split based on a separator, okay, based on a separator, and of course you can see the separator over here is hyphen. Like hyphen is the one which is separating the first part of the product ID, second part of the product ID, and the third part of the product ID here, if you see. Okay, so hyphen is the separator. So it identifies that yes, hyphen is the separator which is separating the three parts of the product ID. And if you see on the right hand side, it has created three new columns. It has splitted the column into three new parts. Split 1, split 2, split 3, where based on the hyphen, it has just splitted it up into first part, second part, and third part. Three completely new columns over here. Yeah, of course, you can have a custom split as well. I'll showcase you that as well. But right now it has split based on a separator. Split always works with the separator, right? Your separator is hyphen. Can you see? FUR hyphen FU and then a number. So after FUR, there is a hyphen. After FU, there is a hyphen. So it has taken up the part that is before the first hyphen as first column. The part after the first hyphen as the second column, and the part after the second column as, second separator, second hyphen as the third column over here. That's how it separated it into three different columns. That's how it splitted it up into three different columns. So is this part clear for everyone?
Did you provide this separator anywhere while splitting, or
No,
it
no.
automatically split?
It automatically identifies that this is the separator, and I have to split because there are three parts and two separators in each of the rows, and that's why it automatically got separated into three new columns.
If it is the same, then it will work. But if it is some columns, it will have some hash or some different value then.
Yeah, it won't work in that case. So in that case, you have to manually separate them. Okay. So are we all good till here? Same way you can use custom split as well. You can click on custom split as well. So in custom split, I'm not sure if you can see the dialog box. Yeah, you can see the dialog box, right? So in custom split, you can specify what is your separator, right? Let's say your separator is hash for that one, in that instance. So you can specify this is my separator. Then you can specify what do you want to split off. You want to split off the first part, the last part, or all the parts. And how many columns do you want to split it up into? One column, two column, three column, and likewise. So you can actually specify and customize the splitting process completely with custom split. Got that? So is your doubt now clear, everyone?
Here, if we want to split up to 5 digits, like OFF and PA as one, and the number code like 1 to like 6 into two columns, like how can we do that?
That won't be possible.
Okay.
Splitting over here means that if there is a separator, it is going
Okay.
to split based on that separator. What you are saying is extracting a part of this entire column as a new column. For that, you will have to use a function. Like you have to write a function and that will extract a part of the string. Like OFFPA will come as one column and the other
Okay.
part can be divided into two other, but it's not split. It looks like split to us, to humans, it looks like splits. But for Tableau, it will be coming under extraction of string.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so are we all good till here, guys? Any questions, any doubts till here? Anyone? Okay, no doubts. Cool. Let's get a little more comfortable with the AI. So here, sorry, not AI, my bad, UI. Okay, here on the right hand side, if you see there's a settings option, which is going to show your hidden fields and aliases. Again, aliases will look into it separately. But let's say this product name table, if I click on this arrow and if I click on hide, so this product name table will be hidden from the preview. So you won't be able to see it, won't be able to use it. So we usually do it when we don't want any unwanted column. Let's say there is an unwanted column which we don't want to use in our analysis, but we don't want to delete it either, for safety reasons. So in that case, you can hide it up. Later on, if you want to use it up again, you can click on the settings and you can click on show hidden fields. So when you click on show hidden fields, product name shows up. You can click on the arrow and click on unhide. That's how hide and unhide works. Got that? I'm taking short topics and I'm checking up on you guys so that you guys are comfortable with the pace and the whole learning. Is this clear till here? Okay, so I'm just again try to get used to the UI of Tableau because you're going to use it a lot, right? And every time we are not going to go ahead and understand the UI again and again. This is the first day, so that's why I'm trying to give you a walk around of the UI and how everything's are over here. No, you can't hide a row. Nope, you can't hide a row over here, Rahul. Okay. Now, if you see this bottom of part of Tableau, the first thing says as what? Data source. The second thing is a sheet one. The third thing, if you see, is again new worksheet, new dashboard, and new story. So data source is the part where you will get to see your data tables basically. This is the part where you will be able to see the data tables, like what are my source data tables, how do they look like, if you want to format them, if you want to merge them with each other, etc. All of that you can see over here, and that process is called blending, by the way. When you merge multiple, like when you relate multiple tables with each other, if you want to relate orders with people with returns, it's called data blending. That is a legit topic, we will talk about it. So all of those things can be done over here in this data source page. So this is a page which tells you a lot more about the source data and all. Sheet one is basically nothing but a worksheet. So there are three things. Okay, there are ideally three things in a Tableau tool. So one is a worksheet. The second is a dashboard. And the third is a story. Can anyone tell me what they can mean? Like, what do you think they can mean? Any rough estimate?
I
Dashboard is kind of a summary.
I
Okay.
think the worksheet is somewhere you want to put some change in the sense like any calculation or any sheet related data like cleaning or something. Dashboard is where you create the charts and all to visualize it. And story is like with after the dashboard, what exactly you are going to make an outcome like that or create some decision or something.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Any other explanations? No? Okay. So you guys went a little wrong, I would say. With Tableau, it works a little different. Okay. Worksheet is where you create individual charts and visuals. Okay. So in each worksheet, I will create one graph. That's how Tableau works. It's a little bit different from other tools. Okay. So in each worksheet, so one worksheet is like sheet one, sheet two, sheet three. In each worksheet, you will create one individual graphs, charts, or visuals. Okay, this is where it's like a single working canvas. You create one visualization in one canvas, so it helps you kind of analyze one aspect of your data at a time. Okay, and you can create any visualization that you want, anything, bar charts, pie charts, line graphs, maps, anything that you want. If you want to apply filters, calculations, anything that you want, you can do it, up to you. Okay, then when you're done creating your worksheets, When you're done creating your individual visualizations, let's say you created 5 graphs in 5 different worksheets. That's how it is going to work. Okay. Then you utilize the dashboard. So this dashboard option is a collection of multiple worksheets. Okay. Dashboard is the one view which will accumulate all these worksheets and display it together in a single view. So this is where you create the actual interactive analysis, which combines multiple graphs, multiple worksheets, and multiple insights. And you can add more aesthetics also in the dashboard. Depends on you. So you can combine multiple worksheets in one view. You can use filters, interactive actions, text box, images, etc. Okay. Then if all of these are done, then what is a story? Okay. What is a story? So story is one level up. Story is like a sequence of worksheets. So inside a story, you can add multiple worksheets, multiple dashboards all at one place. More of like a presentation. So this is a step-by-step format to communicate insights. A lot of times when you give business presentations, you don't all like everything doesn't always fit in one dashboard. There can be multiple views or multiple dashboards that are needed, right? So you can put all of that in a step by step format in story. Let's say the story over here will contain the first dashboard and the second dashboard. So when you communicate your insights, you can say that this is my primary dashboard which shows these insights. Now when I want to see them granular, I can put it up on a D2 dashboard which shows them in a more granular format, and likewise. So that's what story is used for. Why this is important? Because remember, this whole process has a lot to do with your storytelling skills, how you depict a story. That's very important because that also depicts your problem solving skills. Okay. So what you put in a dashboard, where you place what, which graphs you use is everything part of a part of how do you want to communicate your insights. Like for example, if you ask me how will I design a dashboard, like a sales dashboard, maybe I will put some numbers on the top. Okay. Then maybe I will define those numbers using graphs in the bottom. So maybe this will become my dashboard 1. In dashboard 2, these graphs can be more granular where I'll create a little bit more detailed graphs. Maybe I'll create maps. Maybe I'll put a little bit more images, product images, etc. And I will make it more granular. So I can start off my story by explaining the overall numbers, going a little bit deeper with the insights, and then saying that if I try to detail it out even more, I can go to D2 and see this is how it looks in real. This is what the details of other dimensions are with respect to this insights and etc. That's how a worksheet, dashboard, and story works with each other. Is that clear for everyone? Yes. So are we all good till here? Okay. Now that we have gone a little bit comfortable with the UI, I'll talk a little bit detail about why do we need Tableau. Like, of course, we talked about BI and etc. But when we already have Excel, give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry, I got a call. Anyway, so when I talk about Tableau, why do you think we need Tableau when we already have Excel? We can analyze data in Excel also, right? Then why do we need Tableau? Any idea on that? It's a simple answer actually.
Easy to use, good interactive UI Tableau have than
Mm-hmm.
Excel.
Okay. Okay.
Also in Excel, if you want to clean the data, you might need to write a few of the functions behind those columns and rows. I think the Tableau gives that, also gives that facility, like ready to made facility, less coding in involved, as you said.
Right. Okay. Yes. So of course that's given. So Excel is more of a spreadsheet based tool. So its purpose is spreadsheet based calculation. Its purpose is spreadsheet based analysis and etc. That's why it is a little slow with large data set. Versus Tableau is more for data visualization and analytics. It's built in a way that you can build the best dashboards, so it can handle large amount of data as well. Plus with Excel, of course, you can create a basic level dashboard in Excel, but they are all basic charts. They require a little bit more manual work, and everything is functions, and Excel functions are a little bit hard to remember as well. Versus in Tableau, it's all drag and drop interface, right? We just drag and drop and we do a lot of stuff. We create charts and we do everything likewise, right? And also the dashboards that we create or the visualizations that we create, we have a lot of interactive features in Tableau, real-time analysis, handling of large data, but that is not there in Excel, right? It's good for small data analysis and cleaning and etc, right? And the best part is about Tableau's live data connection, right? For operations like calculations and etc, it's better to use Excel. But if you need a calculation that you want to use in the dashboard right away, you can create that calculation in Tableau as well, right? It's just that for calculations you have a lot of options in Excel as well. Okay. So the best part about Tableau is the fact that it has live connection. That's the best part. So that means that when you are connecting a data to a database, Tableau gives you two options. Let me reshare my screen 1 second. Okay, so one of the feature of Tableau is about live data. So when we talk about live data, that means that my data should be updated all the time. Whenever I'm looking at a dashboard, it should be an updated dashboard. That's what is the basic requirement, right? So live data and how does it work with Tableau is when you connect your data. When you connect your data to the source in Tableau, Tableau gives you two options to connect. One is live, another one is extract. Very important. This is the only question that came up repeatedly for in a lot of interviews, right? Okay, so Tableau actually gives you two options, live and extract. Live means this is a real time data, which means you don't have to do anything. Once you connect your data to your database, let's say you connect it to a SQL database, data gets updated automatically whenever the source is updated. So it's best for real-time dashboard. The only disadvantage, it's very slow. Okay, it gives you a slower performance because obviously you have connected your data to a live source, right? And it is going to get updated maybe every second. So it's going to make the process slow. It is going to buffer a lot more, right? And especially because most of the times our data is huge, right? But it is useful in a lot of situations like stock market. A stock market dashboard will show live prices. It makes sense to show live prices directly from the database. versus extract is basically like a static snapshot of data. Okay, this is like a static snapshot of data. So what it does is Tableau takes a snapshot, a copy of the data, and stores it inside the Tableau's workaround. Okay, so this basically will give you a faster response. So let's say you extracted the data for today. So it will basically get the updated data till today, till 1st Feb. If you're looking at the dashboard tomorrow, you will still see the data till 1st Feb. If you look at the dashboard on 3rd Feb, you will still see the data only till 1st Feb. But if you feel like, yeah, now it's time to update the data, you can click on the refresh button or the extract button. It will again refresh the data likewise. So works locally, no direct database connection needed, but you can refresh it manually. Whenever you want, you can refresh it, right? And you can set refresh cadence. Like for example, this dashboard should get refreshed every Monday, right? So every Monday, Tableau will refresh the dashboard. So of course, there's a faster performance because it's not getting updated every second. It knows that only on Mondays these updates will happen, right? So that's how extract works faster. So a very common interview question is that if you have a large data, will you prefer setting up a live connection or an extract connection? Most of the times, if you can explain your answer correctly, the right answer is extract. And you have to explain why. The reason is extract actually gives you the right data, but it also gives you it gives you the right data, but in a way that you get to see a faster performance of Tableau. With live, though, you can see every second of data live updated, but it's slow in performance and it just downgrades the entire experience, right? That's why extract is much better because it's faster. Okay, it is updating whenever you want, so you can set up cadence, like mostly like sales reports can be updated weekly instead of every second, and etc. The only thing is that you have to refresh it manually and you can set up cadences, etc. So this is about live versus extract in Tableau. Is that clear for everyone? Remember, live is used for real time data. Extract is when you need faster performance, you need periodic updates, and etc. Is that clear till here, everyone?
In live data also, is there any way that we can like control the extraction, like even if it is live data, still I just need few data from that data source, then
No,
it can be done?
no, you can't. You can't store. You can't control that part.
Okay.
So if it is live, it will update every second. Every second, the data will get refreshed.
Can we like manipulate, like you said, that every second it will get refreshed? Can you manipulate that, like in an hour or half an hour?
The extract?
The live data.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't. It will update every second. When it's live, it means every second it will get updated. Yeah, Priya, that's what I'm saying. That it won't get changed to 5 minutes or something. Right? It will get updated every second.
And even in the extract phase, the snapshot, always it takes for only one day, or is there any timeline?
No, no, no. So it's not about one day. See, it is about overwriting the data, right? So let's say your data was only till 1st Feb. Okay, so next week when you do the refresh, okay, next week when you do the extract operation, so it will be what?
7th Feb,
8th
7th
Feb,
or
I
8th Feb. Yeah.
yeah, 8th Feb. So it will take all the data that is there till 8th Feb. It is not only just taking, it's not taking only the last 7 days data. It is updating the entire data, the latest data till 8th Feb. That's it. Got it?
So every day it's updated
No, not every.
automatically.
Yeah, when you do it in the next week, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, even in the second day, like first wave, if it is I'm refreshing it in the second wave, so it will
Mm.
automatically refresh for the second wave, or
No, so what I'm trying to say is, let's say the data was updated till first Feb. So whatever
Mhm,
are the details, it will stay like that. When you
mhm.
refresh on 8th Feb, it is going to overwrite the entire data, and the entire data will now be the data that is there till 8th Feb. So
Yeah,
let's say
that's correct.
let's say
That's
that
correct. But
person.
but if I refresh the data in the sixth wave,
Hmm.
so it will refresh till sixth wave, right?
Yeah, it will refresh till 6th Feb.
So
You
in the
can
back
set that
end,
run date. You can set the run date that till what time frame you want it to get updated.
yeah, my question is, so in the back end, it took snapshot of each day and store it somewhere, right?
No, 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 no. In the back end, it's the raw data. In the back end, it's your database which stores your actual data, right? So if it's a sales data, everyday sales will get recorded in that sales data. When you are
Mhm.
refreshing it on 8th Feb, it is going to record and give you the snapshot of all the sales that has happened till 8th Feb. That's it.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
As you say, in extract, it refresh the data every week, right?
Hmm.
Automatically. So can we
No,
manipulate
I
that?
can customize that. I can set
Yeah,
it.
we can.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, got it. And we can, even if we want, we can extract refresh in 5 or 10 minutes
Yeah,
also.
yeah. If you wanted to do it manually, at any point of time, you can do it. In extract, is there a way to configure whenever it changed, not on periodic time? Live it live does it, but it does it every second, so it slows down. No, in extract, you won't be able to see that. I mean, you won't be able to see it in Tableau that your backend data has got updated, so you need to update this. Tableau won't give you that. Tableau is supposed to just take your data from wherever you have specified and give you the dashboard that you have made. That's it. Okay. Now, even in this case, there can be two things. There can be one can be append and one can be overwrite. One can be append and the other one is overwrite. Which means append means till 1st Feb, whatever was your data, it will stay. When you refresh on 8th Feb, it will just add the last 7 days data. That's append. It will just keep on adding the new data, like next 7 days, next 7 days, next 7 days. It will keep adding on the data. Overwrite is not like that. Overwrite is the one that I explained before this. So when you refresh it on 8th Feb, the entire data gets updated. Now every data will show you all the data till 8th Feb. So why overwrite is better? In most of the cases, like for example, let's say a customer bought a product on 30th January. Okay. So in your first Feb extract, it will show that there is a sale that happened on 30th January. These are the products that got bought. Let's say that person returned the product on 6th February. Right. So in your append, what happens? It shows that bought, returned. So there will be duplicate records for one single customer's transaction. But in overwrite, it will actually update this data and say that the transaction that happened on 30th January is now on the status of return. So it shows you the updated information with no duplicacy or redundancy. That's how overwrite is better than append. Is that clear for everyone? Are we all good till here, guys? Are we all clear? Are we all good till here?
Yes.
Meghna, one question. So, in what case we use append generally, rather because usually the best practice to use overwrite, right?
We don't use append a lot. I've not rarely seen append getting used. Append can be used for maintaining product logs. Okay. Like for example, product logs in the sense inventory data, like new products getting added, right? That way it can be used, but mostly overwrite is preferred so that you have a updated data, because a bigger part of all of this is maintaining the consistency and accuracy of the data. That's why overwrite is preferred. So is that clear?
Yes.
All right, I'll just share you guys this notes. So are we all good with today's class? Did we learn something new? Was it informative? Did you enjoy the session?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Meghna, yes.
Yes.
All right, I've shared the doc link where I've noted all the notes and etc. So you can refer to it anytime you want. And I'll just take the last 2-3 minutes for any questions, any doubts that you guys have.
So since Power BI is the latest technology, does companies using Tableau?
No, so it's not like Power BI is the latest technology and Tableau is an older one. No, both of them are hyped up. Both of them are being used equally, partly. Yeah, there are few pros and cons. Power BI has few features which Tableau doesn't have. Tableau has few features that I mean Power BI doesn't have. But it really doesn't depend on that. Few companies use Tableau, few companies use Power BI. Simple. Tableau is usually costlier, right? I mean, for us right now, we are practicing on a free software, so it doesn't matter. But companies, of course, cannot use the free one, right? Because they have a lot more fee. They have to store huge data, they have to connect to databases, so they need paid features. So they have to buy the licensed one. So when organizations buy the licensed one, Power BI is usually cheaper than Tableau. So a lot of companies that's why prefer using Power BI. That's it. But there are a lot of companies which use Tableau as well. And most of the Mang companies, if you work with top tech companies, Mang companies, they usually have their own BI tool. Like Google has their own tool like Looker Studio, Amazon has its own tool like QuickSight, and etc.
But all the tools like the
Yeah,
concept wise,
similar.
yeah.
Yeah, similar in UI. Everything is drag and drop. Here
So
and there, a little bit of functionalities can be different, but other than that, it's easy to adapt.
so for us, it is important to learn the concept rather than like
Yeah, the concept of dashboarding, visualization, and how can you create functions and
yeah.
etc. inside Tableau, because the fact will still be the same. The calculated field that I'm talking about, you create it in Tableau, you create it in Looker Studio, create it in QuickSight, you create it in Power BI. Names might be different. The fact, the concept is same. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Anyone?
So this tool mostly used by the sales team or business analyst team, or do the company have different teams for particular these features?
Oh, you're saying that who is going to use the dashboard that we are
No,
building?
mostly this particular tool. Who are using, like the sales
Tableau.
team, the analyst team?
No, so it is of course going to be used by our analyst team or the data science team because we are going to build it. We are going to build the dashboards based on business problems. Once we build the dashboard, we deploy the dashboards, like we publish the dashboards. After that, the dashboard gets hosted on a server. So whenever a business owner has to see anything across this business problem, they just open up the dashboard in that server, like a website, and they quickly just look at it. So they don't get to see the developer side. They only get to see the finished product.
Okay.
All right, cool guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you had a good time and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.